ಹಲೋ ನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ SSLC ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಡೆದಂಥ SSLC ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷಿನ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾವು SSLC ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರೆದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕಮ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಯು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫರಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎರಡನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್. The correct question tag is aren't they. And the third question, it was on the if clause. Okay, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ if you had told me earlier I would have watched it. ಓಕೆ, if clause ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಉತ್ತರ would have ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. Then question number 4 is on infinitives. There they asked you to find the infinitives. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, and the sentence is like this: the facilities lacked personnel and equipment. The on-duty physician was not able to do more than giving first aid. He advised that she be moved to a nearby hospital. Here it is, to do is the correct infinitive. And the next question is on the syllabification. There you need to find out the syllables. How many syllables are there in a given word? Okay, now they asked one syllable word, that is free. Then the question number 6 is on collocative words, matching the collocative words. There they have given credit card anta kottidare. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. Then question number 7 is using the suitable article. Okay, the sunset. Okay, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಒಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ದ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And question number 8 is on using the correct linkers or conjunction ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ and fruits and vegetable ಅಂತ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. And another one is using the suitable prepositions. ಓಕೆ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 9, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಲುಕ್ಡ್ ಎಟ್ ಹರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಬಿಲೀಫ್ ಅಂತ ಲುಕ್ಡ್ ಎಟ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 10 ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ fill in the blank with appropriate tense form of the word given in brackets ಅಂತ. Nowadays Arjuna goes to school regularly ಅಂತ goes ಅಂತ ಆಗಬೇಕು. Then question number 11, identify the parts of speech of the underlined word ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ the temples at Hampi are magnificent ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫಿಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಫಿಸೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು adjective ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಗುರುತಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. Then question number 12 is write the correct form of the word given in brackets. The scientists were dash in their efforts to find a cure for the disease. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ the scientists were successful in their efforts to find a cure for the disease ಅಂತ. Then question number 13 is about use the word search as verb in a sentence ಅಂತ. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದವಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. We can write many sentences. Here I have written the thirsty crow searched for water ಅಂತ. Then on 14th question is on degrees of comparison. There they have given the comparative degree and asked us to write it in the superlative degree. So Ooty is the coolest hill station in South India ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಸೂಪರ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. Then question number 15 is on passive voice. There they gave the chief guest distributed the notebooks. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದ ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಚೀಫ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 16 is on reported speech, that is direct to indirect. What is that sentence? I am going to Delhi tomorrow. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. Raj told Raghav that he was going to Delhi the next day. Okay, this is all about question number 1 to 16. Now let's move on to question number 17. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 17 ಏನಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ 2 ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೇಟ್, okay, then observed him from close quarters and gradual came. Okay, this ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಈ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಬಲ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಬಿಯಲ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಗ್ರಾಜುವಲಿ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 17. And let's move on to question number 18. What is that? Why did Nehru choose Dr. Ambedkar as the law minister? ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Ambedkar had a great skill in law and legislation. He had the vision of social justice. Therefore, Nehru chose him to be the first law minister of India. Okay. Then question number 19. Ambedkar had a great thirst for books when he was a student. Explain the ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So, throughout his life, Dr. Ambedkar was a voracious reader, as we all know it. And he had an insatiable thirst for books. He bought books by curtailing his daily needs. When he was in New York, he purchased about 2,000 books. And they had to be sent to India in 32 boxes. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿ ನಾವು we can say that he was a voracious reader or he had a great thirst for books ಅಂತ. Then question number 20. Do you think the response of the artists in the lesson was unusual? Why ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. No, the response of the music maestros was not unusual because any person with a good heart and compassionate towards other sorrows would do the same. Okay, then question number 22. Okay, what is that question number 22? We have to describe the physical appearance of the jazz player 2. The jazz player has a rough, unshaven face and a sagging stomach. Then he wears a faded blue shirt, a loose necktie and an old jacket. His shoes are run down across his chest is an old alto saxophone supported from his neck by a wire coat hanger across his chest. Okay, and the jazz player at first has a weary expression on his face and he keeps his head down and appears lifeless. This is all about the appearance of the jazz player 2. Then question number 23 is on the supplementary reading. What do you think is the writer of a Narayanpur incident trying to impress upon the readers? Or how can you say that students' march was unusual ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Let's look at that question number 23. ಇಲ್ಲಿ choice ಇದೆ. Okay, whether you can write the first or the second one. Here let's look at the first answer, that is what do you think is the writer of Narayanpur incident trying to impress? People wanted to fight against the British and get freedom. Some Indians were working for the British, but they were waiting for them to quit India. These people helped the freedom fighters secretly. The sub-inspector Patel also indirectly helped the Mohan's family. And here the writer, he wanted to put light on the struggle our freedom fighters had against the British. Or you look at the second part of the question, that is, the students were marching to give a notice to the collector for the British to quit India. It was uncommon because they walked silently without shouting slogans or behaving in a violent manner. Even though there were policemen, they marched as if the policemen didn't exist. Anta. Then look at question number 24. Again, that is on supplementary reading. Then what kind of difficulties Dicky Dorma had to face as a young girl? Or how did Anif and his brother learn to be independent at a young age? ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Here, Dicky Dorma lost her mother and her brother when she was 11 years old. Her biggest headache was her financial situation. When she was getting ready for the final frontier, her father was bedridden and a lot of money was needed for his treatment. In spite of all these hurdles, problems, she concentrated more on her achievement and finally she succeeded. ಓಕೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವಳು ಅವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸಿ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ತನ್ನ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯನ್ನು ಅಂದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. ಆರ್ ದೆನ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಟಿರ್ ಎವರ್ ಚೆರಿಶ್ಡ್. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ Hanif lost his father when he was just 8 years old. His mother, a vocal artist, was out very often with performance wings. The kids became very responsible, getting up and getting ready for the school without her having told them, and learned that one's duty is the most important thing in life. Okay. ಈ ಥರ 23 ಮತ್ತು 24 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವುಗಳ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ನ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 25. Describe Swami's dreadful experience when he was lying under the bench. Okay. Swami crept under the bench, shut his eyes tight and covered himself with the blanket. Soon he fell asleep. He began to have a nightmare that a tiger was chasing him and he could not escape from its claws. With a desperate effort, he opened his eyes. As he lay in fright, he heard a rustling sound. He tried to look out into the darkness and saw something moving. As he lay in fright, okay, then he felt that it was the devil who would surely attack him. And he crawled from the bench, caught hold of the figure, and bit it hard to save himself. This was a very dreadful experience that Swami faced when he was sleeping under the bench. And look at question number 26. What is that? How does the poet describe the progress achieved in our country in the poem The Song of India? Here the poet wishes to sing a song depicting the natural beauty of India, like the snow-capped mountains, the three seas, and the rock-cut temples. In addition to this, he wanted to talk about the progress what we achieved after the independence. We have built so many dams in India. We have constructed so many lakes. Then we have established the shipbuilding yards, and we have started the hundreds of steel mills in our country. And in the field of science and technology, India has achieved a lot. And he wanted to talk about the science and the scientists, which they are working very hard to put our India on the top of the world. ಈ ಥರದ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Then look at question number 27, that is extract. Benji, ab theek hai? He asked. Sister, are you okay? Then who is the speaker? Here the speaker is Baleshwar Mishra, who is addressed as Behenji here. Here that is addressed as Behenji to Roma Talreja. Then why did the speaker ask this question? The speaker asked this question because Roma was injured seriously and fell on the tracks unconsciously. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಥರ ಮೇಲಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. Then question number 28. What is question number 28? Look at that question. What is that? Okay. Then here you have to answer. One day they came back to the office to complain. Okay. Then who does they refer to? Here they refer to the Americans. Who did they complain about? Okay. Who did they complain about? They wanted to complain to the storyteller or the narrator of the story. Then what was the complaint? The complaint was about the children of Rio and Medio who were overrunning the property. Okay. Then look at question number 29. This is an idle pastime. You would do better to read and get some knowledge, he said to his son. Who is the speaker here? The speaker here is Avtar Naren. And who does you refer to? You refers to Satish Gujral. Then what is referred here as idle pastime? Here idle pastime, it referred to the writing doodles, that is drawing pictures. Okay. Then look at question number 30. You say you own me. I wait. Who is the speaker? Here the speaker is the motherland. Who does you refer to? The you refers to the reader or the people who are living on this earth. Then what does I wait indicate in the context? Here I wait indicates that the patience the land is having, or the patience of the land. Then look at question number 31. There they have given below is a profile. Write a paragraph using the clues given below. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೂ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕ್ಲೂಗಳನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Then so we can simply write it as the given profile is about Mr. Rajgopal. He was born on 20th March 1973 in Kolar. His educational qualification is MA M.Ed. He is working as a professor at a private college. He is living with his wife and a daughter. His hobbies are writing, painting and gardening. He is very famous in his locality because of his friendly nature, service-mindedness and helping the poor students. And he is a role model for the youngsters. This is how we can write. Yes, it's a model and your writing may be more interesting than this and it differs. Okay. And look at question number 32. The question number 32 is about to develop the story using the clues given below. ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಕ್ಲೂಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಕಥೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Okay, here they have given the grasshopper, merry, enjoying summer, like this. Now let's construct a story based on the given clues. Once there lived a grasshopper and an ant in the forest. The grasshopper was very happy and enjoying her beautiful summer days merrily by singing and dancing. But the ant was working very hard to store food for the coming winter. The ant advised the grasshopper, stop dancing and singing and try to collect food for the coming winter. But the grasshopper didn't listen to the ant. As expected, the winter came. The grasshopper was starving because it didn't store food in the summer. It came to the ant asking for the food and shelter. But the ant told that it would not give him any food. The grasshopper was very sad by listening the answers of the ant and learned a lesson from the ant, or learned a lesson from this incident. This is how, again, it's a model. Idu kuda one model ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಬರೆದಂತ ಒಂದು story may be very interesting and different from the given one. And look at question number 33. Uh, study the picture given below and write a description or an account of what the picture suggests to you in a paragraph. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚಿತ್ರವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಚಿತ್ರದಿಂದ ನೀವು ಏನನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ ಅದರ ಕುರಿತು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Now let's write a paragraph about this picture. The picture is about a science center. The technicians are working on the computers. They give us information about weather, rainfall, education, etc. Today we all are enjoying the adventure of science in many ways. Science and technology has become part of our life. We can't imagine our life without science. We are getting all the facilities on our fingertips. Example, we watch the live matches, we watch news, internet, getting news around the world, and banking services with the help of computers, etc. So this is again a model. Description, it varies from students to student, and you can write better than this. And question number 34 is about completing the poem or quote from the memory. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. Or you can write the blind boy. You talk of wondrous things you see. You say the sun shines bright. I feel him warm, but how can he? Or make it day or night. Then question number 35. That's about a paragraph. Read the paragraph and answer the questions that follow. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನು ಓದಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉತ್ತರವನ್ನು ಬರೆಯಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ದ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಈಸ್ interesting and you can read it very thoroughly and you will get the required answers. So what does Dr. Carell say about prayer? Dr. Alexis Carell said, or he says about the prayer, that prayer is a powerful source of energy that one can generate. It's a force as powerful as terrestrial gravity. I have seen men, after all other therapy had failed, were lifted out of the disease and sorrow by the silent effect of prayer. And what is the second question? How powerful is the effect of prayer according to the passage? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜದ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, we are aware that prayer can perform miracles, prayer can change our lives and make us better humans. It has the power of magic. Then let's move on to question number 36. ಈ question number 36 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ. That's according to the poet, his grandmother was a genius. Elaborate ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ the jazz player's pathetic life is lifted by his music. Justify ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So we can write the summary of the poem like this. The poet Ruskin-Bond calls his grandmother as genius because as he could climb a tree even at the age of 62, she was passionate to climb a tree and learned it from her loving brother at the age of 6. Everybody feared that Granny would fall from a tree one day. Once it so happened that she climbed a tree but couldn't come down. After the rescue, the doctor recommended her rest for a week. But for poor Granny, it was like a brief season in the hell, and she demanded a house to be built on a tree. The poet's father was dutiful and fulfilled his mother's will. So the Granny moved up and enjoyed her olden days on the top of the tree. This is why the poet says his Granny was genius. Or we can write the summary or the pathetic life of jazz player 2. An old jazz musician is standing like a black ancient mariner. His old face is wrinkled and weary. His faded blue shirt has turned dark with sweat. But shirt has turned dark with sweat. His stomach is hanging loosely. His jacket is worn out and his necktie is undone and dropping loosely over the jacket. His shoes are torn and are stuffed with paper to cover the holes. His rough, unshaven face shows pain. He stands alone, head down, eyes closed, and ears perked. An old saxophone hangs across his chest, supported from his neck by a wire coat hanger. He gently lifts the saxophone to the parted lips, but once he starts playing music, he is no longer a black man, but a bird which gathers his wings and flies high and higher. He seems to be spreading the message of God through his music. This is all about question number 36. Let's move on to question number 37. Write an essay on any one of the following. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಎಸೆಯನ್ನು ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Here I have given two A and B. Here I solved. Look at A. COVID-19 preventive measures and vaccination and the precautions to be taken. Now let us look at the first step of the writing, that is introduction. The coronavirus or the disease is a pandemic disease originated in the Wuhan city of China. Now it has spread to most of the countries of the world. In May 8, 2020, there were 56,342 positive cases reported in India, and it is the second largest population of about 135 crore with minimum medical facilities suffering from this pandemic. How corona spreads then? It spreads by droplets released through cough, sneeze, or any other respiratory fluids. The infected person suffer from respiratory problem. The infected person suffer from fever, cold, cough, and sneezing. The droplets contain novel coronavirus. The virus spreads through the droplets of cough and sneeze. Still today, there is no specific medicine to cure corona. Then what are the precautionary measures to be taken to avoid this disease? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ತಡೆಗಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Prevention is better than cure, as we all know that. COVID-19 can be prevented by covering nose and mouth by mask, clean hands often with soap or alcohol-based sanitizer, keeping social distance of 2 meters or 6 feet, avoiding touching eyes, nose and mouth unnecessarily. Use napkin or tissue paper while sneeze or cough. Stay home when you suffer from fever, cold, cough or sneezing symptoms. And the best method is to get vaccinated to stay safe from this disease. Now there are many vaccines to prevent the effect of coronavirus. Many vaccines are like Covaxin, Covishield, okay, Pfizer, are manufactured in India. Here, Covaxin and Covishield are the Indian-made vaccines, and they are now used for different age groups over a period of time. There's 45 years above 18 to 45 years and below 18 years. To vaccinate 135 crores of Indian population, there will be a lot of expense, time and medical facilities. Then we can conclude the essay with it's a large country of 135 crore population. Medical facilities are not sufficient, so it's better to follow the government guidelines and stay safe at home to keep our society healthy. Either or else we can write about air pollution. Air is the free gift of nature. It's essential to all the living beings. If there is no air, there will be no life on the earth. nowadays air is being polluted and is become impure for breathing. Then what are the causes for air pollution? The chief cause of the air pollution is man. He is polluting the air in order to increase his material comforts. Industrialization and urbanization are also main cause for air pollution. In industrial cities, air is filled with carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, and phosphate are spoiling the purity and freshness of air. And we are also using too many vehicles. The smoke which comes out by the vehicles cause air pollution. Burning of fuel and oil, deforestation are also causes for the air pollution. Then we are using nuclear weapons, thermal power stations, overpopulations, smoking cigarettes, overpopulation are also cause for the air pollution. Okay, then what are the effects of this then? The breathing impure air may cause many serious and dangerous diseases like cancer, asthma, skin diseases, etc. Then breathing impure air also cause deaths, and it also resulted in thinning ozone layer, and it will bring disaster to living beings on the earth. Then what are the remedies? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಏನು? Awareness should be telecasted in mass media as the government is doing it. Then industries should be set up away from the cities and emission pipes should be set up high in the sky. And emission tests should be made compulsory for all type of vehicles. Vehicles should be maintained in good condition. There should be ban on nuclear weapons tests. Okay, ಈ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವೆಪನ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನಿಷೇಧಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಏರ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Then many programs should be conducted in villages and cities by school and college students to give awareness about the pollution. Then we can conclude this essay by saying we know that men are the main cause of pollution. It is important to control the air pollution. Without air, we can't survive. So it's our responsibility and duty to keep air clean and make our earth healthy for living organisms or for living. Healthy for living. So this is how we can write the essays by using various methods and various ideas. Again, the writing of essay may differs from student to student. Just it's a model. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ನಾವು ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಸೆಯನ್ನು ಬರೀಬೋದು. Then question number 38, it's the last question. Imagine that you are Chaitra or Chaitanya studying in Government High School, Chamarajnagar. Write a letter to your friend describing Children's Day celebration in your school, or write a letter to the junior engineer, electricity office of your area complaining about irregular power supply in your locality. Again, this letter writing, it should be followed by some steps. That is the format of the letter, matter or the body of the letter, language used by the student. So that this is all about the model answers we discussed in this video. I hope that it will help you to check your answers. Then thanks for watching the video. Thank you very much.